So you're probably wondering, now that this perfectly imperfect, now that this perfectly imperfect storm had ended, and I had been disappointed in myself and I was discouraged, you're probably wondering, well, what happens next? Because, this is a 4-part episode. That was just a 2-part story, and there's still probably 2 stories left, right? There must be a perfect resolution to all this. There must be a happy ending that you're keeping from us, right? And you'd think that. But no, that's genuinely, what I said at the end of that. That's just, that really discouraged me, man. That really brought me down. And it continued to bring me down on Monday. Monday was hard, man. Because I woke up and I saw that the website was working again. And although I was happy, just my mess up, my slip up, my lack of ability. It still made me angry. It was just, it made me mad, I was just I had stopped being mad and I was just down. It brought me down and I was, just sucked, man. And so, on Monday, just like the Monday before it, I once again proposed a plan. I once again said, I'm going to try to get all of this week's work done before Sunday so I don't have to worry about Saturday and Sunday and I can just relax during the weekend. So that's what I started to do. On Monday, I didn't have any time to relax. Because, in a way, Sunday was my day of relaxation. Even though it cost me a major fail, and even though it really made me regret having a relaxing day on Sunday, I had no time to relax. I just had to get straight back into work. Because I had assignments due on Tuesday. And since there's a lot of assignments, well, it was a whole module, really. Since it was a whole module, I'm like, alright, I need to get into starting the notes for this, and after the notes, I'm going to do the assignments. And so, fortunately, I don't really have a... So before I continue, I don't really have a title for this, for what happened on Monday and Tuesday. There isn't really like a specific title. I don't think I really put one. If I have one, if I put one, then cool. But right now, I can't really come up with a title for that. I didn't really coin a term, and that time I was more focused on note taking than anything. And so on Monday, I started taking a lot of notes, just notes after notes after notes after notes. But here's the problem. Like I said, I was really down. And so, believe it or not, even though I got some notes done, I didn't really do a lot because I was still discouraged. And so I did notes, I did work, but I was still discouraged, And so, what I did mostly on Monday, besides writing notes and feeling discouraged, was, livening up my spirit, trying to reawaken my sorrowful spirit, maybe sorrow. I don't know. My shattered spirit, if you will. I tried to reform that by just watching some silly YouTube videos. So I started watching some YouTube stuff. I would write a section of notes, and then I would watch a new video or whatever, and that's how it would go. I think I would do like an hour of notes, then watch like an hour of videos, an hour of notes, an hour of videos, and it worked pretty well. And it kind of improved my, my it kind of improved my like disappointment in myself. But the problem is that even though that sounds all great, it wasn't all really that great. Because here's the thing, I haven't really, okay, let me properly talk about what happened on Monday. So on Monday, my mom took off. Lewis didn't have work, and they went with my grandparents out to like some places, to the mall, to here, to there. So they all went, out and about doing stuff, and I was left here alone. And usually that's not like a bad thing. It's a great thing, really. And I love sometimes being alone, so I can chill. I can just listen to music like on freaking full blast or whatever. I can just vibe. You know what I mean? But the problem is, and I don't know if I've really talked about this that often, but ever since the family has left, this area, like the family has left the house, this house has felt more like, it's felt empty, and it's felt kind of weird because I got used to having Jampy play Fortnite at 3 a.m. When I go downstairs for like a snack or whatever during the summertime. Like, I got used to that, you know what I mean? But now I'm just scared. I've been scared, and so on Monday, while I was doing notes and all this kind of stuff and watching videos and all this kind of stuff, I had already started feeling paranoid of things that might be happening in the house or whatever, like the area surrounding the house. Like, I'd already been feeling that a little bit in the previous weeks, but on Monday, for some reason, it just went to like 100%. My paranoia just went from 0 to 1,000. My God, it was crazy. All right. So while doing these notes and while watching, these videos and all this kind of stuff, my paranoia was like bothering me so much. And it really didn't help when I went downstairs to make like a sandwich or something, and then somebody started knocking on the door, but like super loud, like not as loud as that, but like louder than that. It was like super loud. I'm like so scared because they kept on knocking like over and over and over and over and over and over, and I thought like they were literally about to like freaking like just kick down the door. I was so scared. I almost fainted, and so especially after that, my paranoia just grew even more. And so I'm doing my notes, my paranoia is growing, all this kind of stuff, and I kind of hate that. I really hated that. And this whole time, I'm trying to occupy my mind by maybe trying to call my grandparents, or someone to fill the void besides the music that I have in the background and the notes and all this kind of stuff. So I wanted something to fill the void, and I talked to them, but like they didn't really fill the void for that long, and so I just plummeted back into the void, just paranoid for hours and hours on end. But luckily, after a few hours of really being paranoid, like, I'm not as paranoid as I was on Monday now, but dude, I was so paranoid on Monday. I was, oh my lord. And so, when I got a call from my mom and Lewis saying, like, oh yeah, we're on the way home and all this kind of stuff, I was like, oh, thank the Lord. And so, I was a little bit more chill, and so they came home, and then they're like, alright, we're gonna have to leave again. So they left again, and then they came back, and then I'm like, Mom, please tell me you're gonna, like, work from home tomorrow, or be with them tomorrow here. She's like, yeah, and I'm like, thank the Lord, dude. Like, cause I got my work done, I got some notes done, and I got to watch some videos, I mostly relieved my stress or my disappointment in myself after what had happened on Sunday. But that paranoia, man, really hit me. And so I got rid of that when they, it just went away when they came here. And I was chill. I was able to relax, I was able to breathe. I was at peace. And so I continued, to write notes, until, I'm not even kidding. I continued to write notes until one of my eyes literally just started, like, watering like crazy. It just, like, it would not open. And so I just decided, alright, I've done enough notes, I'm gonna go to sleep. And so I went to sleep. Ooh. And so then starts Tuesday, aka yesterday. So yesterday, after what happened on Sunday and the paranoia on Monday, Tuesday was a saving grace. It really was. So like I mentioned before, the assignments that I had started to do on Monday were due on Tuesday. And since I didn't have that many assignments left, I'm like, alright, I'm about to do these assignments. And so on Tuesday, I'm continuing to write a bunch of notes because I still had a lot of notes, and I still technically have a lot of notes for that class because I didn't finish them, which I probably should do that, but I don't know about that one. But yeah, since I didn't finish them, or not that I didn't finish them, but like I didn't finish the notes because I'm like, alright, I gotta focus on these assignments some more because the notes are taking a long time to do, and so I'm like, alright, let me do the assignments and then I'll get back to the notes. And so after doing the notes for a lot of the day, for a lot of the time, I'm like, alright, I have to stop with these notes. And when I stop with the notes, that's when I learned something interesting. So I learned, probably maybe like mid-afternoon of yesterday, that basically everyone was going to come over later that evening. And I was like, huh? Sorry, what did you say? You're telling me that everybody's coming here right now? And when my mom told me that, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna probably have to finish these assignments really quickly. And so I start, reading through all the assignments, reading through what I have to do, and then I'm like, alright, these are actually pretty simple. And so the second I start to do them, lo and behold, you're never gonna believe this, they end up getting here. Which I'm like, wait a minute, wait, what? And so, okay, so by this point, it's no longer like middle of the afternoon, it's more like 8-ish, 9-ish, like, for most of the afternoon. So, okay, so this is, alright, so this is actually one thing I should clarify on. So, I did the notes for all of the morning on Tuesday, and I did most of the notes until 2 p.m. yesterday, or, Tuesday. But then after 2 p.m., I'm like, alright, I'm gonna stop doing the notes, and I'm gonna start to do the assignments, but before I do the assignments, I'm going to go ahead and do my exercise, so then I can just get that over with, and then I'll take a shower, and then I'll do the assignments. So then after I finish the assignments, I'll be able to spend time with them. And so when I spent, and so that's what I did, I did exercise in the pool for a little bit. We had a family friend over, which is really nice. I had a really good breakfast. I should have mentioned that. I had a really good breakfast and a really good lunch. Oh, dude, it was great. Yesterday was awesome. Having so many people over was great, but that's not the point. The point is that, I did my exercise, I went back in, I took my shower, all that kind of stuff. And then I was going to start getting ready on the notes. And at this point, it's maybe like 5 p.m. It took a while for me to get ready for the pool, and then, it took me a while to do my, exercise in the pool. And it also took me a little while to get, out of the pool and, shower and all this kind of stuff. And so, after I had done all that, let me just check. Is my battery at? Okay, maybe we just, do this. There you go. Oh. You good, game? Oh. Well, now we got curse memory after this. This is perfect. Yeah, so I'm like, this is a great idea. This is not a great idea. But, yeah, so around that time, it's 5. And so, I'm like, alright. I have 4 hours left at best until they come here. And so instead of starting my assignments, I refresh on what the assignments are actually about and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's what I have to do for that. That's what and I see one of the assignments and I'm like, ooh, can I do that? And so I start looking into one of the assignments that I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And so I'm looking into it, I'm reading up on all this stuff, and then on the greatest plot twist of all time, I get distracted for just no reason. And I just completely just forget about the 4 assignments, and I just kind of just go off for a few hours. And then, after those few hours, I go back to my room, and I'm like, alright, I gotta start these assignments because they're gonna be here in a minute. And so I start doing the assignments, and right when I'm about to do one of the assignments, they get there, and I'm like, you've gotta be and so I go downstairs, I say hello to them and all this kind of stuff, and I want to give them the tour of the house, or of my new room, because there's this little entrance that I'm doing for anyone that hasn't seen my new room, or the new look of my room. So I'm I'm playing that, that mix that I was talking about, that music mix that I was talking about, that I recently got into and that I was listening to a lot. Yeah, so that's the cool thing. I play that for the introduction as my room now, the do 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 do. Well, you probably wouldn't get it, but maybe I'll do a room tour, guys. Maybe I'll do a room tour at 10 million subscribers. What the? Yeah. So I did that. And so since I didn't want to see my room, since I didn't want them to see my room before I gave them the introduction, I was just like, hi guys, and I'm going to give you guys an introduction later, but not right now. And so they said, alright, that's cool, and they went off to eat. And so while they're eating, and I'm like, alright, I got to do this assignment. But since I still kind of want to spend time with them and not be cooped up in my room the whole time they're here, I'm like, all right, since I can basically do all these assignments on my phone, I'll start doing them on my phone. So I go downstairs, I go into the garage, and while I'm listening to them talk, I start on one of my assignments, which actually is like a 2-part assignment. Like I did the first part then, and then the second part today, because it was an assignment that took like 3 days to do, but I could technically do it in like 5 minutes. But you know, my teachers kind of just work that way sometimes. And so I do that quickly, and I'm like, all right, chill. They go outside, they're looking at this and that, and I'm like, all right, I'm about to do another assignment. So I do another assignment really quickly. I'm like, 2 assignments down, right? 3 assignments left. Right, 3 assignments left. And about like an hour and 30 left on the timer. And so I do another one of the assignments like super quickly. And then after that, you know, they, like, the guests decided to come inside, and so I'm like, all right, y'all want to see my room? So they're like, yeah, and so I bring them up to my room, I show them my room, I'm like, I put the music on and everything, and they're like, wow, that's so cool, and I'm showing them, and I'm talking to them, and they're like, all right, it was cool seeing you, we're gonna leave, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So they left around, I want to say like 11:40. And so I had, around this time, I had like around like, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes left to submit these last 2 assignments, these 2 last assignments. And that's when, that's when I was in this was the final stretch, folks. I was in the final stretch. I had 2 assignments to turn in, alright? And so, in true final stretch fashion, I put on the only song I knew that could help me get through this. I put on the speedrunning song. Do 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 do. So I just had that in the background while I just quickly run up the stairs, and I get onto my computer. I'm like speed running my password, like. And then I start doing these assignments. You know, I'm looking here and there and there and here. I got 1 down. And then the second one, I'm like, all right, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I gotta open up like this, I gotta open this up. And the last assignment that I had to do was the assignment that I was like kind of unsure about. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. But then I see the time is dwindling. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I'm freaking out like, oh my god, am I gonna be able to do that? Oh my god. And lo and behold, alright, lo and behold, because I followed my own rules of shutting up and clutching up, I ended up clutching up and turned in my assignments, folks. 20 seconds before it turned 12 a.m. And so I ended up finally putting it through. I finally succeeded in that. I finally turned it in. I finally got a win. I finally won something. Like, after all those hours of writing notes and hours of paranoia and the hours of, like, being, really frustrated with myself and trying to, bounce back from that, and all this kind of stuff, and all this talk about the imperfectly perfect storm and the perfectly imperfect storm and all this shit, I had finally gotten a win. And I was so happy. I just started throwing my notebooks everywhere. I started throwing things at the wall. I was screaming. Alright, I was screaming to the mountaintops. I was so happy. Because I finally got a win. I finally got something. I finally did it. I had finally finished my work for Tuesday and Wednesday also. And so I'm like, I'm so happy. This is amazing. And I'm gonna go to sleep, man. Tomorrow's gonna be my chill day, and I'm gonna go to sleep. And here we are, folks. It's tomorrow, the day after the win. And you're probably wondering, well, now that you've gotten a win, you probably still have a lot of homework due for this upcoming Sunday. And my answer to that is, yeah, you're right. And you're probably wondering, well, if you have a lot of homework, due for this Sunday, then why you're taking a break today? You were on a streak yesterday. Why don't you... Dude, I need a break. Did you not hear the first 3 parts of this? Have you not been listening to the story? I had to deal with paranoia, and so I'm chill now. I'm chilling. I wanted to recap on all these episodes. On Monday, an idea came into my head that I would probably make an episode. Remember the Freeze episode, wrapping up, or like sort of not wrapping up, but like summarizing, or like retelling or telling the whole story of the imperfectly perfect storm, or the perfectly imperfect storm. And then, of course, afterwards, on Tuesday, I'm like, all right, I gotta also do an episode about what happened on Monday and today. And so, that is why I haven't recorded Memoria Freese in the past 4 days. Because it's either because I had a lot of homework, had guests. It was a storm, folks. It was a whole not saga. It was a whole journey. So yeah, that's it, folks. You've been caught up. So now you're probably wondering, well, we still have one more part of this episode left. What the hell are you gonna do with it? And my answer to that is,